I can hear me in my ears.
Yep.
And you can hear you. If I turn this round to there, oh, it was quite a long way. Say Mary had a little lamb quietly. Say Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a... It's not always hearing you, is it? Keep saying it.
Mary had a little lamb.
But not louder. Keep it quiet and then turn that. I'm trying to show you something. You're allowed to touch that knob and that knob. Turn that bigger knob while you're saying it. Backwards. Keep going. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. Keep saying it.
Little lamb. Had a little lamb.
There's an adjustment point there where it's switching itself on or off.
Yeah.
But that's with the engine only doing this many revs.
Right.
When the engine's making a hell of a racket, you'll need to turn it round to there. And the reason you'll tell is because you won't hear the engine thrumming like that, but you'll hear a hiss. In fact, I'll demonstrate it. That's the noise of the engine coming through. See if I turn that. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's very sensitive at the moment, and
okay.
I've got the same thing. So you've got that, and also that's I believe that's changing the volume in your ears.
Yeah.
So you're perfectly free to play with those, and I might ask you to play with mine for the because see as I talk, hearing me unless I shout.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Okay, so that's just the intercom stuff. Couldn't believe how long it took me to learn that stuff at the beginning.
I can imagine.
You know, I thought I was learning to fly an aeroplane, not run a mixing desk.
Yeah. It's quite difficult to get your head down.
It certainly is. Right. So, we've had a successful start. We started on the right-hand one. So I checked the RPM, I checked the oil pressure, I checked the starter light, I checked the alternator, and I checked the magnetos. We've got 2 spark plugs in each cylinder.
Yeah.
4 of them are fired by one magneto. The 4 of them are fired by another magneto. So one of the magnetos can fall off and break off, and we've still got 4 sparks.
Yeah.
So we've still got a full set of sparks. So at the moment, both spark plugs are firing together. And so, whoops. That's ticking over at 12. And when I turn it to one set, drops a little bit. And when I turn it to the other set, drops about the same. That's a further big test later on, but anyway, that's check the mags. Pre-taxi. Avionics are on, we can hear each other. Mixture, we put it round to there, it saves us petrol and stops these engines sooting up. And it made that speed up a little bit.
Right.
Fuel, we set the fuel to the right-hand tank, and then we check the flaps. Flaps are fully down.
Compton Airbus, this is Golf Delta Alpha Mike Yankee, good afternoon.
And that's the takeoff position. That's the fly along position. And I want to check that it goes back down again. So I've checked that I've got a working set of flaps. Instruments, de-icing. Now then.
Compton Airbus, this is Golf Delta.
This is a normal compass.
Good afternoon.
And that's saying 15, 16 and a weeny bit towards south. So 15, 16 and a weeny bit towards south. We're using runway 26.
Mike Yankee, Europa, out of Wickham Air Park and inbound to you, approximately 11 nautical miles to run to the east, from the east, and to POV and request your landing instructions.
We're operating on runway 26, right hand circuit, RQFE 989.
26 right hand and QFE 989, Golf Delta Alpha Mike Yankee.
Okay, so that guy's coming in. He's been told what the QFE is, which is a pressure setting which will make his altimeter show how high he is above the runway. I'm about to call up and ask her to check my radio, and also she's going to give me a number about 1019 or 1021, something like that, which is what I've sort of guessed it at. Compton radio, Golf, Romeo, radio check, taxi for a local flight with 2 POV.
Runway 26 right hand, QNH 1019.
1019 26 right hand, Golf Romeo. So I'm pretty good there for 1019. We got 2 runways here. One in one direction and the same one in the other direction. That one points 260 degrees and the other one points 08. So she's just told me we're using 26, which makes sense, we're taking off into wind. And also all the turns we do around the circuit will be right.
Yeah.
So I've got all that, and I'm down on here, done that. Now we do some taxi clearance. So I've got the thing flashing, and we'll taxi on that. She's nice and warm and ready to go. This is leaned, and that's all good. Time off chocks noticed. If I switch this on, I don't have to write anything further down. I just go to this, and you will get a little image of the flight we've taken, our actual flight path. Do you want to go down to Dorchester and look at anything? Where do you actually live?
Salisbury Street, down by...
In Dorchester itself?
Yeah, Dorchester, yeah.
And you've never been in a little aircraft, so we could go down there?
No.
So we might go down that way. And you're a local boy, you've been around here all the time, all your life?
Weymouth, yeah, and then moved to...
So you'll know you'll recognise Blandford and all of these sort of places. Yeah. So we're ready to taxi, and I'm happy to taxi that way and there's nobody in my way. So I take the brakes off, I pull this back, and I go full left rudder to make sure that I can have full left rudder. I'll give you a go on this in a minute. And then I go full right rudder. That means I know that I can go to both extremes if I need to. Then I'll get it moving along, and I'll tread on the brakes and make sure the brakes are good. The brakes are good, okie dokie. Right, I'm going to invite you to have a go at steering it. You felt me treading on it. You are just resting your feet on it, aren't you? Just rest your feet on it, okay? I was treading on it. There's no brake on. We don't need this. We're just holding this back to keep it safe, but it makes you feel like a pilot. I can't steer it unless I'm holding that. If you open that throttle gently, you'll start making more noise and more wind, and she'll start moving, and then you've got to close it again or she'll move too fast, and also you've got to tread on your feet to steer it over there. We're going right up to that end of the runway, towards that rainbow, so now you're going to need some more welly because you've undercooked it, you see?
Oh, with your feet?
Yeah, you're going to steer it with your feet and change the throttle with the engine. What you'll find is it takes more revs to get it on the move, and then you can pull it back a bit and it should taxi at about 12. And you've got to steer, please. Here, that's it. Go on, Wrench, come. Tread on it. That's it. Once we got clear of all the expensive aeroplanes, you can tread left and right. But I'd do it now if I were you. You keep your feet there, I'm doing it, okay? Right. I'm going that much and that much. Yeah. And I'm having to press quite hard. You do a little wiggle like that. That's it. And we don't go too close to the runway, just in case anybody's landing. Okay? Yeah. It's now time to do the obligatory wave to the people if they're still waiting for us. They've all gone in. Oh, there's Tom.
Yeah.
And she's going a little bit faster, so you can pull back gently on the throttle.
This one?
Yep.
Which way we go?
Backwards. See, that's it, and she'll roll along for a bit, and then she'll slow down, and you'll need a bit more throttle. And you're still steering it. Prove you can do it. Go around the back of Dave's aeroplane without clipping the wing on that aeroplane there. I will be an instructor one day.
Compton radio, Golf Mike Yankee is just coming into the overhead. We intend to descend dead side to join for 26 right. Golf Mike Yankee.
Roger, QFE 989.
QFE 989, Golf Mike Yankee.
And look, there's a plane spotter taking pictures. We will stop unless you give her a bit more welly. That's good. So that was all good. We've checked that. The engine's still fairly happy. Don't go too close to the back of Gay LC. Round that way a bit. So where we're going to go to, see that black crow? Oh, I'll take it over.
Yep.
But that's it. I mean, sometimes people completely overlook the fact that the engine isn't in any way connected to the wheels.
It's really weird. It's really strange.
It is. So it all happens. In fact, I reckon it might be quite a laugh to get some aeroplanes with no wings, some really old airplanes with no wings and car engines up the front, and get them off-roading.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you get to a steep runway, you've got to give it loads of welly, and then when you crest the thing, you've really got to cut the welly.
It's a strange sensation, actually, doing that, driving with your feet.
It is, that's right. But it's not the only. I mean, tanks, and there are some vehicles which steer with feet.
Yeah.
And
I've never done that with my feet.
Not many people have.
No, it's a strange sensation, actually.
It waited until I got to lessen the wave to it, because we've got the hats up, and I know that guy. We'll be all over the internet later on. He's got a proper lens. Now then, having got here, we swing round into, if there is any, wind. But it's also round here so we can have a look at stuff.
Radio, Tiger Flight X-ray 3 miles to the west for rejoin.
Right, I make sure that it's all nicely set up in the middle,
6 right, 989, roger.
and I stop it,
Downwind, low level circuit.
and I put it onto 12, and then I put the brakes on, and then I come back to the book of words. During taxi, brakes, instruments, rudder left and right. Parking brake, I've done that. What we're doing now is we're checking that this aeroplane is going to give us full power when we want it to, okay?
12 Mike Yankee downwind, put in
So
right hand.
we started it on the left-hand tank, we've taxied it on the right-hand tank, so we know that both of those are working. Now we go to both, so that we know that both of them work together. We have a quick look at the temperatures and pressures.
Turning base, low level
We set this to go fully rich. And I wind this up, I hold this up here in case the brakes slip. I wind this up to 18, and promptly have to adjust that.
Right, Yankee, is that you on a very late downwind?
I'm very late downwind.
And then I do this thing about changing gear. So I'm about to change gear without, we're going to drop the clutch on it and it'll slow down. Slow down and that'll go up. That's all I needed to do. Oh no, when I do it, also the oil pressure changes because it's driven by engine oil. I only needed to do that once. But now I go all the way round to 21. And I turn off one side and watch that little drop. Tiny little drop, and now go to the other side. And there's no difference between them, and I put it back. And I have a look to see that she's charging properly, and she's sucking properly, and the pressures are all good, and that's all. And then I pull that, and I get a slight reduction. And then I pull this all the way back. The next check is, when I close the throttle, like when I'm coming into land, will it actually keep going if I've closed it fully? I think she will. And there's another little check I do at this stage. Proves. Basically, we've just exercised all the systems we're going to need during flight. Okay? And now we've got to do the vital pre-takeoff actions. Trims, I need to check that that's set to take off and that's set to take off. I need to go for 10 degrees of flap. I can see 10 degrees of flap, and I've got an instrument there which says 10 degrees of flap. Have you got a watch by any chance? What's it say? 358. Good. Trims, flaps, mixture goes to fully rich, prop lever goes fully fine, friction lever is on, engine heat knob in, mags are on both, boost pump on. I'm not going to put the boost pump on at the moment, but I do know that I've got sufficient, and I do know that I'm on both.
Right, Yankee, wind southwest.
The alternator's on, the lights out. I've got a happy set of figures on there. Taxi light off, landing light on. Pitot heat not required. De-icing. So we've been messing around. This now says 30 on the compass.
Captain radio, Golf Papa, Yankee Lima.
And that's set to it. Transponder, we can be seen now by Bournemouth. And they'll see a number saying 7,000. And that says, I am just a little aeroplane flying around. I'll do another check of this. And canopy is closed and locked. I've shown you how to do that. Now we do our harnesses up as tight as they can comfortably go. We can slacken them off later. If we're going to need these harnesses in 5 minutes time, when we're trying to crash over there, because if the engine's going to let go, it's the first time I give it real full power, okay? But this is when we need it. We can get it comfortable later on. Takeoff time will be noted. Takeoff brief. If there's a problem during the takeoff, I will abort the takeoff. I will close the throttle. I'll put it back on the runway. Even if we're slightly airborne, I'll put it back on the runway. If it's too late to put it back on the runway, I will look for a field, and it's going to be a field over there, and I'll put it into the field. As we're coming into that field, if you've got capacity, get rid of this for us. And protect your face, because it will wind upside down. It will wind up upside down on long grass. It's bound to. And if it does wind upside down and we haven't got rid of the canopy, in here is a hammer with a thing. You can smash the windows there, okay? There's also a cutter for cutting through the straps. Your straps, not mine. Don't worry about me. Get away from it. If it hasn't burst into flame, come back for me. But it is trying to kill both of us. So at least one of us can survive it, okay? I can't at the moment, but that'll be because of this, probably. Yeah. Let's keep talking.
Hello? Yeah, that's better.
That's just because of that. If you want to just get familiar with that, just keep saying Mary had a little lamb, Mary had a little lamb.
Mary had a little lamb, Mary had a little lamb.
That's why I couldn't, that's right. If you can't hear yourself in your own ears, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Compton traffic, Golf Romeo, Romeo's ready for departure, lining up 26.
X-ray Tango on final and the wind is southwest at 12.
Yes, copy the one on final. We will give way to X-ray Tango, obviously, Golf Romeo, Romeo.
Okay, and then you've got Charlie Kilo coming onto a longer final behind.
So I have, I'll give way to both. I would have seen them.
Yeah.
I called a bit early to say I was ready. I would have seen them, well, I would have seen the first one.
Get a good view from here.
You do. And so that was helpful. We're air traffic. They're not air traffic control. They're an information. They're not even an information service. So she can't actually tell me not to do anything. So she wasn't saying don't.
Yeah.
She was saying there is somebody.
Just to be aware.
And Charlie Kilo's a long way out there, and you just don't know whether it's a student or an instructor or whether they're practicing something. So we've got to give them adequate time. You feeling all right?
Yeah, feeling good. Yeah, really good.
Good. I keep it very technical because it's quite a technical business, but basically, like I said, it's not technical. Lots of cars and motorbikes had many of this stuff going on. You know, this is adjusting the mixture.
Yeah.
You used to have to set a choke on a car when you started it, the same sort of thing, really.
Yeah.
So here's Charlie Kilo. So remember what I said about the circuit?
Yeah.
They have names, see? There's a downwind leg, which is fairly obvious. There's a crosswind leg. And there's a final turn, and so that's what he's on. He's on final turn.
Charlie Kilo, short final.
And he just called final. He just said Charlie Kilo, short final. So he's getting. So it depends on whether he's doing a full stop or whether he's doing a touch and go. If he's doing a touch and go, he'll clear the runway more quickly. Fully fine. Heater heat on. Boost pump on.
Golf Bravo Delta ready to line up 26 behind Romeo, and Lima Charlie.
That was a lovely landing.
Southwest at 10.
And he's vacating the runway. Golf Romeo, lining up 26.
Golf Lima Charlie will be lining up behind Romeo in turn.
Southwest at 10.
Just got back up.
Yes, it was a touch and go.
Yeah.
So you're happy to come flying with me?
Yep.
Jolly good, because we're going to go now. And I'm going to make a call to Golf Lima Charlie, see if he wants to come down to Dorchester with us. Right, so straight away that needs adjusting. I've got full power. I've got a happy engine. The airspeed's beginning to work. We are now flying.
Golf Lima Charlie rolling.
So we've got 80 on the clock. That's the field we would put it on if it stopped now.
Compton traffic. Oh.
Getting rid of the flaps.
Bowen.
Now I'm going to pull back on this a little bit because it makes less noise. I'm slightly not quite so good. We've got this high above here, we're having a good look around, the flaps have definitely gone. Engine's all still happy. I know where Dave's going, he's going to Wing Farm, which is over towards Warminster.
Oh, there we go.
Now we can have this off.
It's a beautiful day. Fantastic.
It is. Golf Romeo Romeo, we're just about clear of the zone to the north and west, and we're going to go and have a little look at Wing Farm, and we'll go to safety com when we hear what the frequency is from Lima Charlie.
Roger, we'll see you in a wee while.
Roger, and Lima Charlie's leaving the frequency, safety com 135.475.
13545.
Hey, firm 475, yeah.
Not really allowed to do air-to-air transport communication.
6 o'clock by about half a mile.
Dave, actually we were going to go down to Dorchester. Do you want to come with us?
Unfortunately, I've got to be back, so I'm going to head straight home.
Okay, I'll slow down and let you overhaul me, and we'll watch your landing, and then we'll piss off.
Ready, well, I'm turning right about 30 degrees now.
Okay, so did you get that? Basically, we're big boys with big toys, and we're out playing. Yeah. Dave lives up there.
Yeah.
We're not going to do any aerobatics yet, so that's a different thing. Wing Farm is there. I'm not yet pointing to Wing Farm. He took off behind us. There he is. Have you got him?
Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Right. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to follow him for the moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave this on your lap so that you can refer to it if you like. It's press and open it.
That's him.
Romeo, Romeo, I'll get into your 4:30. No, not 4:30, 7:30.
Alright, I'm going to descend a little bit to say hello to somebody just over this ridge, so be aware of that.
We'll go, Romeo, Romeo. You see, there's an open frequency which we're allowed to use at when people are just flying from farmers' strips.
Yeah.
Still not really meant to be used voice to voice.
Yeah.
But at his airfield, he'll be using it. It's called safety com, basically.
I see.
But this is a bit of formation flying, and I wasn't expecting to be doing that. Dave and I often do this sort of playing around. So, if you want to have a go on the stick, just leave that on your lap. Oh, I've got it if you like. Just give it a little wiggle left and right. I'm doing that with my knees, okay? You do the same thing with your hands. That was me doing that. You have a go doing that. Oh, not with your knees, with your hands, sorry. That's it. So that's feeling it left and right, okay?
Yeah.
And then come round to follow him a bit closer by doing that.
Yeah.
That turns us. But also we're diving a bit.
Yeah.
So we'll pull back a bit on the stick.
Yeah.
I'm playing with the throttle, we'll do that. That puts us in a safer sort of place.
Yeah.
So you're actually flying in formation the first time you've ever held the sticks of an aeroplane.
Really?
And you are much closer to this aeroplane than most pilots, most PPLs would be happy with.
Yeah.
I'll take it back, but that was just an introduction, okay?
Yeah.
It'll be much easier when we get clear into our own space.
That's really sensitive.
It is really sensitive.
Yeah.
It's because they're very big controls.
Yeah.
So we're down to 1,000 feet. It's illegal to go below 500 feet above, but I think he's now climbing out again.
Yeah.
When I'm flying aerobatics, we have all balls to the wall.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about any of this stuff. Now we're doing a sweep up. And now he's turning around that way. I'm happily in your six. just out to play. And we'll do the play bit. Your tummy's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
I normally ask if people are normally happy with things like roller coasters. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah. I'm just taking it all in at the moment.
Good. There is a lot to take in. And I've gone right into the deep end by going flying with somebody else.
Yeah.
But this is the sort of fun that we have on a Sunday afternoon. And it's a bit of light relief for me. So now then, I think he's now looking for his own airfield, and I know where it is. It's, you know there's a Centre Parks?
Yeah.
I can see where the dome is of that Centre Parks. There's a forest ahead of us. Well, not ahead of us, it's about 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And in about the middle of it, there's something which is sort of whitey-bluey. When we get a bit closer, we will see that it's actually the dome of Centre Parks. Yeah. And I know from the number of times I've tried to find his airfield, that his airfield is between us and that dome at the moment.
Yeah.
So he's losing height. And he knows exactly where his airfield is because he's lived there for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And I still can't see his aeroplanes, but basically I know sort of vaguely where it is. There's a little cluster of places. There's some houses and some trees down there, and that is at the easterly end of what is his runway. I think I may have just made his runway. We'll stay high, and then we'll beat his runway up, and then we'll piss off. So there he is.
Yeah.
I have made his runway.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can point it out. Oh, I think I've made his runway. No, I'm still not sure. We've got no radar, we've got nobody looking other than our eyeballs. I can see his runway. It is just in front of my wingtip. You can see the moan patch.
Yeah.
That's his air.
I see it, yeah.
So he's going to go and land in that. And so I can come down here. There is a safety. See where the tip of the rainbow is? I'm not allowed in there because that's Salisbury Plate.
I see.
And they might shoot us down. And I'm not joking. But I think he's setting himself up because he'll be worried about his neighbours, you see.
Yeah.
He's setting himself up for landing on there, and we will be able to watch him.
Yeah, I see him.
Lehman, Charlie, you still transmitting?
I'm just on final now.
Yeah, I can see you. I couldn't hear you.
Roger.
There's a lake. There's the dome.
Dome, yeah.
Now I've lost him because I've looked away.
I can see him.
I've got the runway.
Strongbow traffic, this is RVA Golf Tango Delta. 3 miles to the northeast, positioning for practice force landing in the overhead.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So that was somebody else talking at another airfield, could be anywhere in the UK. Didn't name it very clearly. There's a gliding club over there, just about where that rain shower is. Can you see that rain
Yeah,
shower?
I can see that, yeah.
There you are, he's just getting into his farm.
Yeah, I can see him landing.
I can get in there, if I wanted.
Tiny, isn't it?
It's quite short, but it's got quite a hill on it.
Yeah.
So in this direction with this wind, it's okay.
That's his garden, is it?
It's not his garden, there's a few
Oh,
other guys.
yeah.
He lives walking distance away.
Cheerio, guys.
Toodaloo, I'll spare your neighbours a low and go, and we'll go down to Dorchester.
Okay, have fun.
So he'll put his away and go home to his cup of tea, and we'll go down to Dorchester, and I'll give you a bit more go on the controls.
South uniform is downwind left. 23, that's first fall.
So I'm going to make sure I've got a happy engine before I go anywhere.
Yeah.
Those are all the right temperatures. That's all good. I want 25. Now we're doing about 100, but she'll climb at this, and I'm going to get to her, get her away from this rain, and up a bit.
Yeah.
We're quite low.
Tango Delta in the overhead.
And then we'll give you a slightly less pressurised go on the controls, okay? And so all of this is complete freedom.
Yeah.
Basically, they don't care whether I've got a licence or not back at Compton Abbas. They don't care whether this is airworthy or not.
Right.
They haven't asked to see anything. All they've wanted for me to do at them is to pay for my fuel and to tell them on from their paperwork when I was expecting to take off.
Yeah.
When I took off, I didn't have a flight plan. I didn't even have to have a radio. It's
freedom.
It is a lot of freedom. What it is it's grown-ups. And we've got the freedom. You know, if I want to fly without a licence or with an unworthy aeroplane,
Yeah.
and then put a young father into a smoking hole in the ground, then that's my fault, and my children and my grandchildren will pay for it when you sue the arses off me because I'll be uninsured. You know, it's grown up.
Yeah,
we take adult responsibilities.
Exactly, yeah. Good, you can still do things like that, really.
It was funny because I'm a bit of a rebel. I'm going to slacken my belts off because I'm not comfortable. I'm a bit of a rebel, and when I first started the training and realised just how much of this stuff there was, I started thinking, what are you doing this, Steve? You're a real rebel. You don't want to subject yourself to more rules.
Yeah.
But then I realised that basically, yes, there are the rules, but within them, they're very free. Now, obviously, if we're at a more grown-up airfield like Bournemouth, then it's a slightly different behaviour. I have to ask Bournemouth for permission to start the engine.
Yeah.
And all of this sort of stuff. But out here, grass strips, you know, there are any number of strips around here. I keep spotting new ones.
Yeah.
When I'm flying around like this, I should be looking for fields I can put it on anyway, in case the engine stops. The engine, I've only got one of them, and if it gets ill, that's why I keep a close eye on it all the time. I'm going to go back to Compton so we can just hear what they're talking about.
Circuit to the east.
Roger, thank you very much, goodbye.
So now we've got 2,500 feet, which makes us all feel a bit safer because we're far enough away from the ground. And it also, my eyes are good at 2,500 feet. I know where things are. I think that's the A303 going under that wingtip there.
Yeah.
I think our airfield is over at about 8 or 9, about 10 o'clock over there, because I think that's Shaftesbury down there.
Yeah.
And we're still climbing, so let's have a little look at the instruments. Notice what I'm doing, i.e. I'm not actually flying this aeroplane. I'm touching it gently with my knees, but that's about it. So we're neither going up nor down. We're doing about 105. We got 2,700, now we're going up. But I think what'll happen is, if I don't touch anything, I think the speed will go away.
Joining crosswind 26.
And then we'll start going back down again. It's a training aircraft. It's meant to be stable.
Yeah.
And so if I was just to leave it, it would gradually get less and less and less. And probably by the time we got to Portland, and I could just about see Portland, it would stop pissing around like this. But I am only controlling it with my knees. And I've been doing that with this. So let's do that little experiment then. You have control. Put your hands on the stick. And the first thing we're doing is we're just going to get a feeling for the sensitivity. Going to get a feeling for the sensitivity, which we've already done a bit of.
Yeah.
I just want you to stir it around a bit. Forwards, backwards, left, right. Nothing too extreme. Certainly nothing very rough. You can see whether the wings are level by looking out the window. And we don't need to look at the instruments to know whether we're going up and down after a while. When we're not going up and when we're not going down, we can see about 2 fingers of ground from the horizon. So if you pull back on the stick a bit, so we can not see, so the horizon's just going below the bonnet. We start going up, we can see that we're going up, and it'll start getting slow on its own accord. If you now push the stick forwards gently, keep pushing it forwards, but we've got a lot more ground, and the wings aren't level, so that's it, that was me nudging it. Now, we're going down, and we're going faster, okay? And we're going round in a corner. That was me, you were, sorry, you just forget. After a while, it becomes, you had the same thing like we all did about which way does the throttle go.
It's really weird.
It becomes, and when more automatic. It's when you start getting a bit rougher with it,
Yeah.
okay? So I'm going to be slightly rougher with it, and then I'll invite you to.
Yeah.
This is partially me encouraging your stomach to get used to it. So I've got it back again, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So now I'm looking, but I'm going over there, okay? And I'm going over there. Oh. Does that feel strange?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. I did point it out. There is a bag in there. If
No, it's alright. It's alright.
I will keep going, okay?
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Okay, because that was left and right. I'm
Yeah.
going to do left and right again, a bit more gently. Okay? All I'm doing is changing the horizon. I'm not
Yeah.
really changing direction. And if you put your hands on the stick but don't push it, you can feel how much I'm moving it.
Yeah.
And if I keep it, it just does more and more and more, and we can see more and more ground.
Yeah.
And so there are two things which are going to upset you. There's either your tummy telling you stuff you don't like, or your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay? I want you to get used to... I can't control your tummy, but I want you to get used to not being worried about how much you can see of the ground at the moment. Because there's no problem. And if I let go, she'll sort herself out. We've got 3,000 feet. We're going down like a brick at the moment.
Yeah.
But she'll... Well, look, I'm still not doing this. So she was going too fast, so she's putting her nose up. So now she's going to get really slow. And then she'll just fix herself again. And we'll go very, very slightly light.
Yeah.
Because she's a training aircraft, she's intended to be stable, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So now... This may help your tummy if it's you doing it. You take the stick and push it forwards and backwards a little bit more roughly than we have been. Okay? These are the ones where your eyes should stop worrying you, but your tummy might. Now pull back a bit. So the wings are level, so level the wings. That's it. That's it. If you do it, if you push it the wrong way and it doesn't work, push it the other way. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So there's quite a lot of bonnet there. We're going up. We're getting slower. And now push the bonnet, push it forwards a little bit more roughly. Push it forwards, the stick forwards. Remember, I'm not worried about your eyes, I'm worried about your tummy, and now I didn't feel that in my tummy at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so now pull it back again so we feel a bit in our... Actually, it's not even our tummy, it's just our bottom. Push it forwards a bit rougher. Not slightly light.
Yeah.
Slightly light. But we didn't, you know, we hardly changed... I'm going to take the controls from that. There's a lot of bonnet there. There's a lot of bonnet there.
Yeah.
I've let go again. She's just slowing down.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of light. And there's a lot of ground there.
Yeah.
But we're not going to hit it. It won't let me hit it. It'll just fix it.
Yeah.
Okay? And when we do go faster, more air comes in here, and this is when these squelches get adjusted. Okay?
Yeah.
That's why we start hearing that. That's when start hearing that hit.
Yeah.
So, when you're in an airliner going to Tenerife or whatever, the turns that you do in the circuit, because they do circuits as well, are 15-degree turns, okay? I'm going to do a 15-degree turn to the left, and that's indicated there, okay? So that's a 15-degree turn.
Yeah.
And that's how much the horizon changes in the 737 as well, okay? I'm going to do a 15-degree turn back that. I think this is Gillingham. Maybe a bit further than Gillingham. So those are 15-degree turns, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to be sure we know where we are. I think I know where I am, but I've always got this. It's always going to give me a cheat. There's Compton Abbas, and we are pretty much pointing towards Dorchester.
Yeah.
Compton Abbas is right over there. So we're not going to crash into anybody. Okay, so you've seen how easy I can do it with my knees. I can wiggle it. That doesn't make you feel unwell.
Alright, that's right.
Okay, and I've got you still resting your feet on the rudder.
No.
Keep your feet resting on the rudder.
Yeah.
And feel what happens when I tread on the rudder left and right. Basically, she's going to kick her ass out. Okay. There it goes.
Oh yeah.
And you can feel how much I'm moving it. And as a result of kicking her ass out, nose starts dropping.
Yeah.
It's because the way she's set up at the moment, if she's happy doing that sort of speed, she won't go up, she won't go down. The moment I say go up a bit, it says, well, in that case I need to make more lift. In that case I can't afford the energy and I'll slow down.
Yeah.
And it's the same, by jiggling around like that, saying, I'm not wasting energy at the moment.
Yeah.
And as a result, I can no longer go that sort of speed anymore, so I'm going to have to put my nose down to keep going at that speed. So that's the rudder. So we've done ailerons, We've done elevators. That was the lightest we've been so far. How was that?
Yeah, that was
your limit, wasn't it?
Yeah, roughly, yeah, I reckon.
Okay. Alright. So what we'll do is we'll definitely go and look at your house.
Yeah.
On the way back, I shall do one aerobatic manoeuvre, and I think that'll probably be enough for you. Okay. So, but you can fly us there. Let us do this thing I was talking about, the trimmer. You know I've had my feet on, I keep letting my hands go, and every time I've done, we haven't been worried about up or down, okay?
Yeah.
Now, holding the stick in the other hand, seeing that we're neither going up nor down, seeing this much bonnet, seeing that the wings are level like this, so we're fat, dumb and happy and normal, aren't we?
Yeah.
Now, which way round shall I do this? I'm going to make it go slower, okay? I'm burning less fuel, I'm putting less of it into the atmosphere. So she wants, not that she wants to go slower, because the trim is still set to be still going at that sort of speed. What's happened is the nose has started to drop, and we're starting to see this saying minus more than plus.
Yeah.
You may even be slightly pulling. Is that right?
Yeah.
So now, pull a little bit harder, so that it stops going down.
And Alpha Whiskey, that's it for that aircraft.
You're going to have to hold that pull for a long time now. Yeah, till you touch that wheel. Pull that wheel back a bit. As you pull it back a bit, you no longer have to pull anymore. Yeah. Because basically what you've done is you've trimmed it for a lower speed. Right. Okay, and so now if I make it go faster again, so you're still trying to neither go up nor go down, and I'm pissing you about, because I'm going to make the engine go faster and I'm going to put more fuel into it. And because the aeroplane's trimmed for about 100, and these settings, straight and level, will make it do 105,
yeah.
You're having to push a bit now,
yeah,
aren't you?
I can feel that, yeah.
And you can take it out with that trim. Pull the wheel back a little bit. That's it. It takes about 9 hours training before you can confidently set the trim. Brilliant. But that's what it's all about. When I'm using this to go on long journeys, take off, that's all full power and all of that sort of stuff. You set cruise speed, you get to the cruise altitude, and then you sort it all out so that you don't have to touch it, and it will neither go up nor down nor left nor right.
It feels like it wants to go back.
Returning to the field.
Okay, well in that case pull it back.
I mean like the stick wants to go back.
Okay, well in that case push the wheel forwards. Or rather, do it in bigger chunks and you'll feel the effect it has on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Better. Now 900.
You can get to the point where you're neither going up nor down and you're neither pushing nor pulling.
Yeah.
The left and right will sort itself out, and the left and right is just you do with your wings. Always gets a bit choppy near clouds.
Yeah.
So can you see where we are?
Yeah.
You see Portland?
Yeah, I can see Portland.
And
Compton traffic. X-ray tangos in the
we took off from Compton, we went out towards Warminster, then we came back, we're well west of Compton. So Blandford Forum will be over there. What I'm trying to say is that I think I know where Dorchester is. Do you think you know where Dorchester is?
Straight this way a little bit more?
I think it's this way a little bit more. I think if you fly toward, if you actually have a stick flying toward, because that's it, on level less than 1, you're told by your instructor, fly us towards, now change direction so we're flying towards Portland.
Yeah.
So do that then. So you turn it left by just pushing the stick left. That's right. Oh, I see. It looks like, sorry, I'm used to sitting on this side, of course. That's still not quite Portland. I think that's Weymouth. Portland, looks very much like an island. You can't quite see the causeway connecting it, can you?
Yeah.
So now, if you're looking, I'm trying to agree with you. We are now flying towards Portland.
Yeah.
I think Dorchester is down there at about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Good, good. So now you can start picking out other things. If Dorchester's down there, then you can see Poundbury being built at the end of Dorchester.
Yeah.
and you can figure out that the main road leaving Dorchester goes off towards Bournemouth, which means it runs parallel to the coast, and there's quarries. Do you know those quarries?
Yeah, I know them, yeah.
They're the other side of the A35, aren't they?
Yeah, I know.
Because roads are good. Oh, in fact, that is that road, yes. So the A35 is there. It's quite a busy road, yes?
Yeah.
And there's Puddletown Forest under our nose.
Yeah.
And Charminster. What's the one called out of Charminster, which is got 2 words in the name?
Charlton Down.
Charlton Down, that's right, that's Charlton Down. See how compact it is?
Yeah.
And that's Beer Regis, I think. No, that's Puddletown. Yes, because there's the road going up to Blandford Forum. And you've lived around here all your life, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is all where you know.
Yeah. I work around this area all the time.
Okie dokie, so where's Bridport?
Over that way somewhere.
Yeah, can't quite see it from here.
No.
You can now see Chesil Beach line.
Yeah.
See how long it is.
Yeah, I can see it.
And we've got 4,000 feet, so we've been in a gentle climb, that's alright. I want to save fuel a bit. I haven't done my engine checking. So I'm going to pull back to 23. And pull back to 23. The nose will pitch down. You will have to start pulling slightly. Fix it with the trimmer. That's good, we're in fuel safe mode now. So there's Dorchester, all below us. You can see the bypass going round, and you can see how good it is to have a bypass, because it has stopped Dorchester from getting too big, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite clear.
Stops them going, yeah, I can see that. Going any further out.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with Blandford. So we can now fly around Dorchester. I don't know where your road is. Tell me where it is again, because I only lived here 10 years.
Salisbury Street, Salisbury Fields by the...
oh right, yes, okay.
Boardington.
Yes, so of course, so you're very close to my house. So if you looked at, I'll take the stick,
Yeah.
because you're worried about it. Oh, I see, yes, you were having to control the trimmer, there was a push. So there's 2 green fields this side of us.
Yeah, I see them.
One of which is Salisbury, what's the other one then? Oh, the cricket ground, no, not the cricket ground, I can see the cricket ground. 2 patches of green and I can't remember which one they are. There's one much closer to the high street.
That one's the golf, isn't it? The cricket bit. I got the wrong end.
I'm tipping it on its nose. Where's the A35? There's the A35 coming in. Where's Kingston Moorwood? There's Kingston Moorwood.
Yeah, that's where I am.
So there's the roundabout.
In those trees.
That's right, yeah, so you're right, it was the cricket ground. I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm doing this for my benefit and I should do it for yours.
Yeah, that's the cricket pitch, isn't it?
That's the cricket pitch, and Salisbury Field is closer to the cricket pitch than you think.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tip it on its side so there's Maiden Castle.
Yeah.
There's another big house in there.
What's that big house?
Oh, that's the one on this side road that goes down to Weymouth, the one where you go right.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So now we're looking down and we can see tennis courts and we can see...
There's my house and my street there. That's
Salisbury Fields is smaller than you think, isn't it?
It's
That's
tiny.
the other thing.
I can see the park.
So you can see Brewery Square being all built up.
Yeah.
The prison is a good one to identify because its roof is in good shape. There's the prison.
Yeah.
You can see the road going out there. There's Weymouth Road.
Yeah.
So that interesting house, you can see how big it is. You can see you can see the grounds and things down there.
Yeah.
Compton traffic, Tiger Moth, Golf Kilo Zulu's final 26.
Weymouth beaches, Maiden Castle.
Yeah.
Because we're doing about 130 miles an hour.
Yeah. Get around it quick.
Yeah. And nice to come down periodically. You can see just how much more they've still got to do at Brewer Square.
The Poundbury looks a bit of a mess, doesn't it?
It does look a bit of a mess. They never stop, do they?
Yeah, there's Thomas Hardy there.
Compton Radio, Golf Bravo Delta rejoining from...
Thornbury Ring.
Thornbury Ring. Yeah, see that, yeah.
Graveyard. Tipping it right over. That's freaking him out. There's Tesco.
There's a football pitch.
You see now, it was your eyes that was making you feel uncomfortable there. That's because you're a plumber, not a scaffolder.
No, yeah.
If you're a scaffolder...
I'm rubbish with height.
Yeah. What I normally tell people is that even this sort of height isn't particularly scary because our brains, our monkey brains, don't recognise this as being high. It's when you get a bit lower that you start thinking you're high.
Yeah. I've got worse of age, I think. I used to be alright with height.
It's what happens actually, yeah. When you're a lad, you've got no sense of fear.
I used to be up on the roofs doing the flues and stuff like that, but... Alright. Game over now.
And I think it's time we went home as well, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's fine.
But you can fly us home. I'll get it on your side. Basically, you follow the road home. I'm not going to say anything, and I'm going to let you follow us home. I'm going to get you so that you're effectively driving along the bypass. Not the bypass, the A35, there. Okay, you've got control. Find us home. We will fly over the top of Blandford. And you can control the up and down, and you can control the left and right. All fairly easy, and you know what you're looking for. You're looking for the junction that we take when we turn off the A35 to go up through Milton. What are they called? There's two villages between us and Blandford Forum.
Yeah.
What are they called?
I don't know which one. Yeah.
But you're looking for that junction on the A35. And you see, because you're a car driver, you're transfixed by looking forwards.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about looking forwards.
No.
If there's something there for us to hit, we're going to hit it at 120 miles an hour, okay? And I am actually looking for the other aeroplane, so you can look at the road. Look around more rather than straight forwards. More important to be looking around than straight forwards, actually. So can you still see the road?
Yeah, I can see the road, yeah.
There's a windmill on the ground.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
That windmill is too far. The junction that we're looking at is between us and that windmill. So if you can't see it, dip the nose a bit. But I can actually see it. So I can see the road.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the junction that takes us up, and I think we're actually over the top of it. I have control.
Yeah.
I'm going to tip it over here a bit. And then I'm going to tip it back. There's the road we should be following now, because there's the two roundabouts.
Yeah, I remember now, yeah.
Okay, so we're following that up. There's the first one. There's the second one. So
I follow it up that way.
That's right. That's exactly how we do it. We follow the roads around. Or railways are better because they're straighter. Roads aren't bad. A and B roads are a bit dodgy because they tend to wiggle around. So that windmill has got what looks like quad bikes or something that goes on at the foot of it. But that's not the one. You know, there's a starts with a G. As we get close to Blandford Forum, there's a guy who does archery and quad bikes.
I've seen the Extreme Sports. Yeah.
Say again?
The Extreme Sports place.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can see their track from here, because that's not their track. That's too far over.
Yeah.
So this is Blandford coming up. I'm going to put a bit of altitude up. I did promise you one bit of aerobatics, and I want to do it close enough to Compton so we can put you on the ground before you feel unwell.
Yeah, it's starting to feel a bit funny.
Oh, are you actually?
Yeah.
All right, well, there's lots of wind there. I won't do the aerobatics then. If you're already starting to. You should be able to turn that knob and get a bit more of a wind. Sometimes can help.
Yeah, that's alright.
And it moves around because getting towards the end of the day. This bloody thing. That's a better position for it anyway. I've just wrecked any chance of this video making any sense. So Blandford Forum's coming up here. I'm trying to keep it as still as possible. We are very close to home. So what I need to prescribe to you is a day trip to Alton Towers, I think.
Yeah.
Get you back into it, because you're getting old, too old. You've only just had your first baby, haven't you?
That's my second, yeah.
That's your second, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting back in, like, trying it. Definitely.
I mean, did you do bicycling and rope swinging and all of that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
You've getting stuck in your ways already.
No, mate.
How old actually are you?
33, so...
33. You're old before your time.
No.
I'm 58 and I haven't stopped yet. Because Oh yeah, we did get nearly to 2.
Yeah.
Delta traffic, Bravo Delta, it's final 26.
So now then, I'm starting to think about how to land this aeroplane. There's Blandford Forum.
Yeah.
Again, we could do the same thing to find our way home. That's another way of actually getting passengers who are feeling a bit dodgy. Concentrate on getting us home. There's the course for the Extreme Sports. So you can see Blandford Forum. You can also see that it has been defined by its bypass.
Yeah.
So you can see the new solar farm.
Yeah, see that, yeah.
So then you go down to the roundabout and you can see Tesco.
Yeah.
And you know where the road goes relative to Tesco. It goes goes past a couple of roundabouts, one of which takes you off to another one. What's the name of the camp? No. There's an army camp where they put the steam fair all around there.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Little cluster of that beyond Blandford. And then if you were driving, you go across the first 2 roundabouts. There's one roundabout there, there's another roundabout there, there's another roundabout there, and then you get to the 3rd roundabout, you go all the way round it and you follow the road up.
Yeah.
And when you go round it, you go past the Sunrise Business Park, don't you?
Yeah.
Which is just under the nose, about 2 o'clock. So there's the roundabout I'm interested in. So the road we're going to follow goes off over that way.
Yeah.
And I can double check that by looking at my compass, saying you're going fairly east at the moment, the direction indicator. And there's always a good opportunity to look on the cheek box. There we are, we've got quite a lot of east on.
Yeah.
Compton Abbas is actually over that way, so I was following the wrong road out. So I was talking you into the wrong road. The road that we should be following. First time Jenny came up to find me at Compton Abbas, she took the wrong road.
Yeah.
The road that gets us back to Compton Abbas is this one here.
Yeah, see it,
that one will want to be put in the corner of
So now then, the airfield is across ways to us. We're now going sort of north.
I recognise that little hill.
Yeah, little standalone Pimply Hill.
Yeah.
Yes. So I know where the airfield is and where we are. If you remember, all the circuits were happening to the north.
Yeah.
We're to the south. So I'm going to call them up and I'm going to tell them we're rejoining from the south.
Yeah.
And then we're going to introduce ourselves into the circuit. I'm going to call them. Compton Radio Golf Romeo 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 is rejoining from the south. Request joining landing information.
Right 989.
26 right 989 Golf Romeo Romeo. So when I go to 989, it now shows us we're 1,000 feet above Compton, which is where we want to be, so I haven't got to do any more height changing. So I'll make sure we don't do any height changing. Compton Abbas is famous for being difficult to find. And part of the reason is because at the moment I can only see the very end of the runway.
Yeah.
You can see the forest, and you can see Shaftesbury. On the nose, slightly off the nose, there's a small little village. Then there's a forest which is on a crest of a hill, and there's a tiny little finger of green.
Yeah.
That's the end of our runway. We can't see the rest of our runway because the trees are hiding it.
Yeah.
But we're at the right end because we're going to be landing in that direction, because that's the direction we took off. We're at 1,000 feet. Everything's good with this. We'll go fully rich. Now the airfield's beginning to make a little bit more sense. One of the giveaways with airfields is aeroplanes. Now, unfortunately, they're all hidden from us, but they're beginning to come into view. Still can't see any aeroplanes, but I'm sure it is the runway. So I'm going to go over there, I'm going to turn right and I'll be downwind, then I'm going to turn right and I'll be cross base, and I'm going to turn right again and the runway will be directly in front of us. I can now see the numbers written,
I see where it is.
Printed onto the runway.
Yeah. Everything's so small up here.
Say that again.
Looks so small up here, that's all.
It is. Compton traffic, Golf Romeo Romeo is crosswind for 26 right. And we can either go long way out there, we can go in fairly close. I'll go in fairly close, we don't want to be inside that village. They don't want us to fly over them. So I'm going to let it lose some height. We're going to land on that runway.
Yeah.
Boost pump goes on. Prop fully fine, fully rich. 10 degrees of flat. There's the runway we're going to land on. We're now flying sort of parallel to that runway. Nice and slowly. Compton traffic, Golf Romeo Romeo downwind 26 right. There's a stately home ahead of us.
Yeah.
We can't see anymore, she doesn't live there anymore, but Madonna lives just down in that valley, or used to live. Guy Ritchie still lives there.
Yeah.
So I've got it nailed at 80, I'm neither going up nor down, I've got 800 feet. I can see the runway. I'm turning now to base. If you've noticed, I've actually got a little bit of flap down now.
Yeah.
That helps me slow down. It helps me fly slower without worrying about stalling. So now we're on base, we're at sort of 90 degrees to that runway. I'm going to keep the turn going because we've got some wind. There is our wind stock. As a pilot I should know where our wind stock is. Yeah, it's still got some southwest. Also there's a bonfire, can you see a little bonfire?
Yes, yeah.
That's quite helpful. But it does mean it's going to be a bit choppy, I'm afraid, on final. Because it comes over those trees. Making sure there's nobody around. Boost, pump, brakes, undercarriage, mixture, propeller. Hatches, harnesses, done up properly tight.
Yep.
I'll have full flat. Golf Romeo Romeo, final 26. I'm coming down at 80, which is a bit fast. I've got full flat. So I gradually start pulling back on the wheel.
Golf Bravo Papa Charlie Kilo radio check. Airfield information, please.
That's 26 right hand, QFE 989er, QNH 1019er.
26 right hand, QNH 1019er. Golf Charlie Kilo.
Right. That noise is door warner, which I want to hear when I'm landing. There's a landing. Bit of a thump. I've done more gentle, but they're rarely shorter than this because that's going to be all stopped in 400. So I could put that on a very short field. More of a bump than I would have liked.
Right.
I'm due a bit.
Really good. Enjoyed that.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up in front of the things and see if Tom wants to come for a ride because I really want to chuck this aeroplane around.
Yeah.
Okay? So you'll have, what's the time?